reason I tried to play again. Hopefully we're coming through all right. The computer is being spastic as hell, probably because of the heat. I'm trying to keep it cool, but it's kind of difficult when it's 103. So I guess the MacBook Air is not able to handle it. It's LOCKBEARD Random Live number 84. Harry Man. I just figured I'd call it that because normally at this time every Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Time, Harry Man Hoaxes and Hoodwinks with Nikki is on, but she is coordinating her trip with a busted knee, so she said she wouldn't have time to be on tonight. So I thought I would do it. Well, I'd be on. I ain't doing her show. But I know a bunch of you guys are going to be hanging out, wondering what to do with yourselves if Nikki isn't on. So here we are. Mr. Lee is here. Sandra Piper, Brian and Chewy Go Hiking's here. Jen's here. Welcome to everybody. Ernie, I see Ernie's here. Welcome. And Cheese Freak. Let me scan back through here and see if anybody said anything, asking any questions. Mr. Lee says, many of the truths that we cling to depend on our viewpoint. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, Obi-Wan was being kind of a dick from a certain point of view. No, Obi-Wan, you fucking lied, is what you did. You fucking lied. Mr. Lee says, LOCKBEARD, you live. Here good. Awesome. Jen says, get a cooling mat for that thing. Yeah, I need to figure out something. Cheese Freak says, dude, your beard is, get it. Oh, damn, chat jumped on me. Your beard is about to get long enough for the locks. Yeah. Yeah. Won't be too much longer. Just in time to be Santa. Oh, them Santa jobs are hard to get. Well, for one, I don't know why I'd want to be Santa. Fuck that shit. I mean, all I want to tell everybody's kid is stop being greedy, you little shit. Stop being a materialistic little fuck. And besides, it's hard to get Santa jobs. Santa jobs are, you know, they got a stack of applications from pedos who like to have a little kid sit on their lap. So, yeah, you probably never take a kid to the. Did you even think about that? Huh? Mr. Lee says, I find your lack of faith disturbing, LOCKBEARD. Mr. Lee, you find my lack of faith disturbing.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I wasn't going to play it, but it's not cooperating. I find it hard to believe that The heat is actually
I find
preventing
your
that
lack
from
of
working.
faith disturbing.
It can't handle that shit at all. Uncle Bones is here. Welcome. Rex Hand, welcome. Paramedic says maybe bad Santa. How about the Santa that's on Futurama? Gary Johnson says Argo, greater than man, beast, ghost, worse the devil. Man, you're not even trying to make a sentence right now. That whole sentence makes no damn sense. Sorry, Gary. Why do you come into the channels that try to keep this shit real with your completely crazy claims? Cheese Freak says sounds like the Catholic Church or the Boy Scouts, Lockbeard. Yeah. There's Chessboard. He says hello, Lockbeard, and everybody else. Paramedic says my kids were always scared of Santa and asked me why I would hand them off to a stranger. Well, because he's a gluttonous fat fuck. And it says ho ho ho. How we even talk about Santa in the middle of summer? Dude breaks into people's, well, reportedly breaks into people's houses, calls every woman in the house a hoe, eats all your cookies. Chessboard says Over the Edge says hello to Brian and Chewy go hiking. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Somebody's saying hello to Brian and Chewy. Uncle Bones says, is Nikki not having a show tonight? No, she's not, Uncle Bones. She is coordinating her trip to go to Moog's Rimmer, or, well, I don't know if they have an official title for it, but that's what me and Mr. Lee have been calling it. It's Moog's Rimmer because it's Mogollon Monster taking people on a camping trip to the Mogollon Rim. It's Moog's Rimmer. Anyway, so she's trying to handle stuff and busted knee and all that, and she said she would not be on tonight. So I figured I'd go ahead and do a random live, so everybody can go to somewhere, hang out. Mr. Lee says, "Speak, Imperial Commander Lockbeard." I'm speaking, Mr. Lee. Cheese Freak says, "Dirty Santa." Jen says, "No, Cabone, she's getting ready for the camp out." It's Question Cowboys here. He says, "Howdy, y'all." You see, Gary has not changed, says Ernie. No, he's not. He's got, I don't know. The guy's either got to be a little legitimately nuts or he's trolling. His claims are so fucking nuts that it's crazy. Rex Hand says, "Hello, Joe. I caught your show earlier." Alexander Piper says hello to the Squatching Cowboy. Everybody's saying hello. Looks like, and of course the chat's jumping around. This thing don't function well at all. Gary Johnson says it keeps you on your toes of knowing the real truth. Yeah, but we all know that what you say is absolutely not the truth, man. It's so crazy. It's so insane. It's not the least bit plausible. So yeah. Cheese Freak says, "Who you calling a hoe, bro?" Santa Claus, man. Santa Claus be calling everybody a hoe. Yeah, it's Moog Zimmer. Hey, Michael Haywood's here. Welcome. Mr. Lee says, "Gary, once you start on the dark path forever, will it dominate your destiny?" Yoda, Empire Strikes Back. BPD 1976 is here. Welcome. It's a fairly new subscriber there. Actually, I ought to go through the last few months of new subs. Speak Life, Garden, Homestead, and Permaculture subbed. And also Val 5214, S. Joyce Cohen, Alley Cat's Prepared Life, of course, BPD 1976, and Heather Turner. So that's some of the new subs. Squatching Cowboy says, "I hope they take pics so we can get a good rim shot." Rim shot. So somebody's got to know. Rim shot was the name of a dog. Whose dog was it? Somebody's got to know that. Everybody's saying hello, hello. Gary Johnson says, "You were not with me in every ordeal I had to contend with, Mr. Longbeard. Like what a ham." Hey, yeah, I don't think anyone could have been there. If you actually believe you saw that, you hallucinate it. Nobody can be there with you while you're hallucinating. The stuff you said is so ridiculously crazy. You probably need to seek professional help. I mean, it's just insane. It's absolutely insane, the things that you've said. They can't possibly be real. No logically minded person is going to buy into the crazy shit that you said. And I mean, I'm sorry, man, but if you honestly believe that you saw those things, you got some problems or something, or you were on some really good drugs, something. But you didn't see that stuff, man. I mean, it wasn't real what you saw. You hallucinated something, or you're making it up. We don't know. We have no way knowing that. You could just be here lying for all we know. But I'm just telling you, whatever the case is most of the people here probably 99% are not buying your story. We're just not. And because it doesn't make any logical sense. It's not at all plausible that it could be real. So I don't know. Seek help. Cheese Freak says, Lockbeard BPD 1976 is Ben from Mogollon Monster you've met. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day when we were talking about Ben T and how BPD is not Ben T. Yeah, I remember. I know. Rex says, "Is that?" Oh gosh, the chat just jacked again. Is that movie The Empire Smokes Crack? Says Rex. BPD says he is the original Ben. Paramedic says Ernest P. Whirl. That would be Ernest, whose dog's name was Rimshot. Your name was besmirched. Yeah, it was. Brandy's here. Welcome. Yeah, Miss Shirley says paramedic got it first. BPD says Ernest P. Whirl is a great dude. Yeah, he discovered how you fight trolls, didn't he? Brandy says, Gary, I believe you. Lockbeard is just jelly. Brandy, you can't possibly believe that crazy shit. You're not serious, are you? You're just trying to make Gary feel better about whatever. I don't know what he's supposed to feel better about. Cheese Freak says, did someone say good drugs? Yeah, please. Well, Gary might know where to get them. Gary might know. Oh, Gary's gonna. Gary does. Geez. Well, if this ever pops up on the screen, it's going to take a little while, I guess. Gary says, you are calling God a liar. Well, Gary, you're not God. So, yeah. Like, holy cow. So you are really a government paid troll. Well, no, I'm not government paid troll at all. Just because I don't believe in your crazy story or in your God. I don't believe in your God. So, you know, I can't call nobody a liar. And you're claiming to speak for God. You know, if this is God's story, then God can. Why can't God speak it? Tell it. Tell him to jump right on here, or how about the booming voice from the sky? Are we ever going to get some of them highlights from the Old Testament? The reality is nobody can confirm any of that stuff happened. You know, any of the magical stuff. You know, people are putting a lot of faith in the scribbles of Bronze Age goat humpers. I mean, You really, I mean, you're seriously. We're talking about people that didn't have some anywhere near the science that we have now, who had no understanding of anything, so they explained stuff through, some supernatural entity did it, that no one today has seen or heard. If anyone claims they've seen or heard it, they are hallucinating or something. I'm sorry, that's just a fact. I invite you to provide actual proof without coming to, well, see, it says here in the Bible. Well, shit, I can write a bunch of shit in a book too, and we can read from that and say, see, it says so right here. It must be true. There's thousands of books in the world now, or well, millions. But you guys have latched onto this one because it's really old, and you totally ignore all of the contradictions in it, and it has many contradictions in it, many. And you pick and choose which rules you want to follow. You guys want to preach to other people, but you don't follow all the rules. You only follow the ones you want to follow. Every last one of you do this. Every last one of you. So, I mean, Gary, you can say, I'm calling God a liar all you want, but I don't believe in your God. I can't call nobody a liar. So, what I'm saying is your claims are so ridiculous, so crazy that you're either lying or you hallucinated this shit or something. Though the things you've said are just way too insane. They're crazy. Cheese Freak says, "Is Gary Johnson really Jerry Williams?" Just asking. Could be. I mean, they seem to think a couple of similar things, but Jerry seemed to be able to communicate better. Jerry Williams seemed to be able to communicate better. Gary Johnson can't seem to create a complete sentence that has any kind of coherency to it whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, really, it's anybody's guess what any particular sentence actually means, because he can't write a sentence that makes any sense. So at least Jerry could make some sense. Cowboy says, that's a good one, Cheese. Time to put the laptop on ice. Yeah. But Ernest couldn't fight. Paramedic says, Michael Haywood, still not sure what Navin's first job was, but had fun watching clips. Michael says, Cowboy, I see a woman riding a Brahma bull like a Shetland pony. What? Michael. Yeah, really, Mr. Lee. Yeah. Maybe one of these days they'll let YouTube just keeps my subscribers whittled down, so I can't ever get to 1,000. Donald, where are you? Says Mr. Lee. Michael says, or that was a lot of bull. Brandy says, Pearl, not sure yet. It really depends on how tired I am once the kids are asleep. You're talking about whether or not you do your next live. Ernie says, Gary is the Bigfoot man's flat earther. Yeah. Mr. Lee says, Brandy, I got unsubbed from you this morning. Went to check if you had a show earlier. Yeah, you got, man. And see, I can't, I have so many subscriptions that I can't, it's hard to know if I've been unsubbed, So sometimes I discover I've been unsubbed from somebody, and I'm like, what the hell? How'd this happen? Well, I know it's YouTube being douchebags. Hey, Ruthless, what's up? Welcome to the chat. BPD says to Mr. Lee, what comes on tonight? Does anything? Well, normally it would be Nikki right now, and then Squatch DTV, but I don't know if Squatch DTV is going to be on at 8 Central. So, you know, because he hasn't been on every week. Yeah, you could find the link to the TV guide in the description of any of my videos or on my about tab. And where? Yeah, I just told you. How to make Mr. Lee a mod, and then he could just post the link. I would try to load it up now, but everything's working. It's so bogged down. The computer's just too hot. That if I try to open it, I don't know. I don't know if it'll work out. But I mean, I'll try. We'll try. And Miss Leah, CSA put the TV guide out. The problem is, man, as soon as I clicked that, it started bogging me down. Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to bring it up. Mr. Lee. Rectan says I watched some of Dan's show last night, and I felt like I was in an opium den. Paramedic says, Ruthless, I am wearing an Edgar suit. Zed, we got a bug. Ruthless says, oh Christ, the flurf's so hilarious. Ruthless says, Mr. Lee, how's the heat there? Joe on in 30, isn't he? Joe, like, you talking about Western New York? He's on tomorrow night. He's on tomorrow night. What's sad? Mr. Lee says, Ruthless, it's fucking hot. Dripping sweat. Ruthless says, yes, Michael, cowardice is rather sad. Did you find it? BPD? A lot of times I pull it up and we just go through it on the screen, and but right now it's so hot out here that the computer is just every time I try to do anything, it it almost wants to lock up. It completely shut down earlier. It just said "fuck you" and it shut down. But the temperature's starting to come down. It's 101 now according to the weather. So yeah, but you're welcome. Go through it, man. And hey, if you know of any other what I originally made that for myself, so it didn't have 100 shows on it like it does now. But what I was made it for was for live streams, not premieres, only live streams where the host is actually there and actually, talking to people in the chat, and if there's a guest, you can maybe get some questions in, because it sucks watching like a pre-recorded interview but you're like, damn it, I wish somebody could ask this question of the guy while he's talking to him. You can't do that, unless it's live with chat interaction. So that's kind of shows that I was putting on there specifically. And hell, if I was trying to put premieres on there, man, that thing would be so fucking long. So it's made just for live stream, paranormal subject live streams with at least some chat interaction. So if you know of any that are out there that I haven't got on there and I'm not aware of, let me know. Like, email it to me, though. Email it to me. Well, if you put it like in a comment under a video, I'll get it in an email, and that'll work too. Comment under a video. That'll work. And then, and if you see anything on there that I haven't got the correct information on, because maybe they changed it, or maybe they're like hidden exaggeration and we hate each other. So, so she will not respond to my inquiry about information for her show, because I wanted to put the accurate information on TV Guide. Because even though I don't like her, I don't like her channel, I don't recommend anyone watch her channel. The TV Guide is neutral ground. It's neutral. I'll put on anybody's show on there that fits the criteria. I'm not going to show any bias there. So, but yeah, like, any corrections, like, feel free to let me know. Telling, because if in a chat here, like, sometimes people tell me stuff in the chat, and then it's just I have to go back and go through the chat. It's hard to find it sometimes. It needs to be in an email somewhere, or on a comment under the video. And be aware. So there's a few things on there that aren't accurate. I need to do some corrections. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Scientologists are R2, says Michael. They are too. Make Mr. Lee a mod, says Ruthless. At least they are two-faced, says Ruthless. Mr. Lee says Michael Haywood, yeah, like Tom Cruise. Uncle Bone says the Ruthless, that is from the Men in Black movie. Yep. Zed, we got a bug. You'd be in a good cult, says Ruthless. Oh, you already are. Paramedic says, yeah, Ruthless, forgot you are down under the first Men in Black movie had a roach that stole a human meat suit. His name was Edgar. Your mama's cult, says Michael. Ruthless says Edgar suit bones. Ruthless says, Michael, at least I don't still live with mine because I'm a socially inept introvert. What? Mr. Lee says, let's close the window, Lockbeard, getting hot. I got the doors open, so I got some cross breeze. If I close the doors, it'll turn into an oven in here. Today's the day, dickhead. Come and get it, says Michael. Randy says, ha ha. It's hilarious when people think they know shit. Tall Ones is here. Welcome. What's up, man? Brandy says harassment yet again. Would to piss people off. Ruthless says, sorry, Lockbeard, I'll stop shitting on Michael and company. I don't know if you guys are joking or if you're serious. What's up? What's going on, y'all? Ruthless says, Michael, yes, I don't do two-faced offense too bad, so sad. What in the hell? What's going on up in here? Brandy says, think you would stop altogether when you're supposedly want nothing to do with people, but you can't help yourself. Hey, are you talking to Ruthless? Grasshopper says, lock your iCloud link to the TV guide below. This YouTube video isn't working. It isn't working? Oh, shit. I guess I need to check on that. It should be working. But, although maybe there's some reason because the show is still in progress or something. I don't know. I don't know why that would be. Michael says that's why you get your ass beat on the regular. What are you guys really fighting up in here? Michael says Grasshopper. What's up, I guess? Ruthless says Brandy, you're no better either. Ruthless, are you really picking a fight up in here? Parmex says I never could pull the guide up either. I guess I need to check the link and make sure it's okay. Maybe something's wrong. Ruthless says cowards following some chick with issues. Yeah, good me with that hiveless idiot. Well, I agree with you on hiveless Ruthless, but you know, we might not want to attack everybody up in this chat here. Just let it go. Randy, he says, yes, Ruthless, I know I'm such a terrible person because I can get along with someone you don't like. Jesper says, Ruthless, your tendency to be abrasive only works on the weak in which you pray. All right, Ruthless, let's drop it. I'm late for the like and connection. This Timmy boy. Welcome to the chat, Timmy boy. Yeah, I know I'm like 6 or 7 minutes behind, but Ruthless, just drop it. Grasshopper says, evening, you all cray crypto widows. Mr. Lee says, Ruthless, be good to Brandy, man, I love her. Brandy says, I like you devoting a live stream to shit talking to you. Ruthless says, yeah, Brandy, y'all think there's a safety in numbers collectivist. What are you talking? Look, I don't know what this is, but take it on out of here, Ruthless. Rex says it's hot here too, Lockbeard. Brandy says, Mr. Lee, Ruthie here thinks he has me all figured out and don't know shit other than how to disrespect women. Not my real money. God damn, this thing is so spastic. Michael says you like to pick on women the most, Gleno. You can probably be a woman up the man. Says that's Michael, I guess, talking to Ruthless. Nothing's up with me, Tim. What's up with you, says Ruthless. Mr. Lee says, who's more foolish, the fool or the fool that follows him? Obi-Wan Kenobi. Mr. Lee says, Tim Boy's here. Do I have to get my sword out? Yeah, Mr. Lee, you might have to do some hacking. Tim Boy says, living the dream. What's up, buddy? Everything good? Ruthless, I don't know what in the hell is your deal, but like, don't come in here and just start shit like that. Randy says, wish you nothing but positive vibes in life, Ruthless. You can exist in the land of YouTube. This is all you have, my corner. My friends go out in the sun. Tim Boy says, Sandra, what's up with Brandy and Ruthless? I don't know. There's something spilled over from someone else's show. Michael says, you sure are lonely. You got no friends. So I have internet friends, or most are. This is Timmy Boy. The Bat Mom says, who's harassing who? I'm not really sure. But I know that Ruthless sometimes gets some shit started. So hopefully he's going to stop. Michael, it's all about how you look in the eyes of others. Everybody you meet beats you up, says Michael. Ruthless says, fake people. Funny the Bat Mom. Hello, Bat Mom. Ruthless says, are you trying to hurt me? Brandy says, yep, you sure are, Ruthie. Mr. B are good. Be good to each other and start shit with bullshit comments. Yeah, that is a bit of a contradiction there, Ruthless. I don't understand why you're starting all this shit up in here. Just let it go. Mr. Lee says, YouTube, you can check on TV Guide later because I had problems too. Yeah, I'm going to have to. I can't do shit right now. Like, nothing is functioning very well at all. I'm having a real hard time. Like, you see, I'm not getting all the comments up. They're not coming up. Like, it's just too fucking hot for the computer, I think. Ruthless says, I'll stop now, Lucky. Yeah, man, don't, see, now you're going to go on and you do this. Like, just let it go means just don't say anything else. Don't talk to those people here. Just don't talk to them. If you want to engage with them somewhere else, fine, but I don't want you to start this fight here. It ain't about what's going on here. Michael says, being you is your punishment for life crazies. Mr. Lee says, stop fighting. Stop fighting. Dublin says, come on, guys, killing the vibe here. Timboy says, hey, if we fighting someone, pick on me, damn it. Yeah. Bertha says, Mr. Lee has spoken. Grasshopper picks Timmy Boy. Mr. Lee says, Timmy Boy, your new name is Remy Boy. Not able to be in chat, Batmom? That's all right. Batmom, are you listening? Mr. Lee asks, Timmy Boy, I'm going to be good now, says Mr. Lee. Well, Timmy, it's over 100 degrees out here, and apparently, I guess that's what we figured out. The computer, everything does not function right. Like the fan on the computer is running as fast as it can. And so, I mean, I don't know what it looks like on your end, but anyway.
Level out, come on.
Yeah, it took a couple of seconds for it to come up for me. And the damn thing is only 2 seconds long. So yeah. Angel says, "Hey everybody, I'm late, no notifications." Donald's here. Welcome. Says, "Does the van got AC? Cool that computer down." Oh no, it's fucking like it don't hold the coolant, the refrigerant. It don't hold it, so I just don't fuck with it. Besides, in order to run the AC, I have to run the van. I don't want to do that. So, I got a fan. That's all I really need. So I'll try to keep it blowing on the computer, and hopefully that I don't know. Hopefully we can get by doing that. Brandy says, "Donald, you get home safe." Ruthless says, "Have fun, everyone." Mr. Lee says, "There are 24 watching and 0 likes for Lockbeard. You better hit it." Oh, I'm sure some have, Mr. Lee. You probably need to reload or something to make it pop up. Yeah, see? Mr. Lee's still going on about the 0 likes. Donald says, "Brandy, yes, and fixed it yesterday." Is Brent still here? Timmy Boy is asking if Brent is still here. I don't know. Brandy says, "Mr. Lee has 16. I'm seeing." Yeah, I think Mr. Lee needs to reload. Sandra's here. Welcome. And Jay Fritz is here. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Jay says, "Ladies and gentlemen." Well, what's he going to say after that? Let's get ready to rumble. Baldwin says, "I'm still here." Yeah. Mr. Lee says, "Lockbeard, you realize you have 2 subscribers, me and Tom Cruise. Just saying. Better." What are you talking about? Tom Cruise ain't subscribed to me. Tom Cruise is not subscribed to me. What are you talking about, Mr. Lee? That's crazy talk. Then I can't fight this feeling anymore. Donald says, "Selling it. I'm looking for a Ford Econoline. Joe's here. He says, "Hey all, hey Beard of Knowledge, known as Lock. Welcome to the chat, Joe." Somebody was asking if you were about to come on. I told them no, yeah, it's tomorrow night. Which I guess Monday nights is going to be a new night for you. Brandy says, "My apologies for arguing in your chat, Lockbeard." It's all right. I know that Ruthless, on occasion, creates an issue. I mean, I don't care that much. I don't want y'all fighting if it's not needed, not required, not part of what we're doing here. Mr. Lee says, "Joe, hey man." Jen says, "I'm back, kinda. Dinner's made. Going to listen. Hi, Jay, Angel, and Donald." Rick says to Joe, "How you doing?" Timmy Boy says, "You were right about Sean's channel. I was mistaken, brother." Who you talking? I don't know what you're talking about. Brandy says, "Mr. Lee, your face is going to be all over YouTube, man." Yeah, Mr. Lee and Tom Cruise. Mr. Lee says to Brandy, "I had many arguments in Lockbeard's chat." Have you? You don't really argue with people. Mr. Lee. Uncle Bones saying hello to Joe. Hawk Paranormal EST NC. Welcome to the chat. What's up? Oh, that was the Brent, Timmy Boy. Joe says tomorrow, yes, Lockbeard update guide. Squatch Random Live Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Joe asked, "Wait a minute, what?" Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern. If the computer was cooperating, I could do that right now as everybody watches, but I'll just have to update it later. The Fridays at 8 Eastern, and then Mondays at 7 Eastern. Sasquatch Random. And Joe asked, "Wait a minute, what?" I think I got the titles jacked up too, so I gotta fix that. Mr. Lee says, "The ability to speak does not make you intelligent." Qui-Gon Jinn, the Phantom Menace. Brandy says, "Lockbeard, that spread the subby Hawk." Yep. Tall One says, "Timmy Boy, Sean's channel." I don't know if he's Timmy Boy. Are you talking about Sean G, the bullshit channel, or are you talking about Sean SHAUN of something to Sasquatch about? Which he hasn't really been active. He had a live the other day though. He hasn't really been active on this channel. Team Boy says about Patrick Vaughn being a mod. Oh, over on the, yeah, he probably is on Sean G channel, I'm sure. Yeah, he probably is. But that, you know, he's right where he needs to be. He's right where he needs to be. It's spelled Sean Brent. Get with the program. Yeah, if he's talking about something to Sasquatch about, then yeah, it's that Sean right there. But he might be talking about Sean G, in which case that's a much better place for Patrick Vaughn. I kind of think that maybe who they're talking about. Tall One says, "Yeah, haha, they'll accept Patrick in his lives." Yeah. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He's associated with the Dark Waters people. He's part of that whole group of people over there. Bullshit stuff. Dogman and Woo, the Woo train. Rexan says Mr. Lee Cruz, Tom 3PO. Timmy Boy says that's enough from you, Joe. Well, which Sean are you talking about? Are you talking about Sean G? It sounds like you probably are. Sean G, the buddy over here with Dark Waters, not Sean of Something to Sasquatch About, which is Sean with a U in it. Joe says all Patrick Vaughn has to do is show me evidence of his claims, and I will believe it. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people would if he could show some evidence, but he can't, even though he says he's got an 80% success rate. His third generation tracker, he's got the Sasquatch wood knocking equation figured out. He calls it an equation. He's got his equation. I don't think he Patrick Vaughn, I don't know. Does Patrick Vaughn watch my shit? He probably doesn't. Patrick Vaughn, you keep saying that word equation.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Yeah. Patrick Vaughn. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, can you fill me in? When exactly and on what show did we decide Patrick Vaughn was lying exactly? I don't know. Like, different people come to it at different times. Like, the moment he told me the damn thing fucking well, he didn't tell me, but he told everybody on Moog's maybe or somewhere or Pat's show. The moment he said that, I was pretty sure he was full of shit. Also, just the way he says stuff and the way he's a show, he's putting on a show. Third generation tracker. I got an 80% success rate with my Sasquatch wood knocking equation. He's just, I don't know when. I don't know exactly when. But because he was, hanging over there at Pat's and amongst the, I figured, people were. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking it's just better just to kind of not not go too hard on it yet. I mean, I didn't, because looking at these guys that he was ingratiating himself amongst, um, hopefully anyone that kind of knows, watches them enough and knows, they probably aren't buying his cloaked Sasquatch bullshit. So, all we could do is guess, why, they just trying to play nice and be diplomatic and, is this a guy that just keeps showing up and keeps throwing in this crap? And I don't know. But I mean, eventually came to head. Eventually came to head when Pat, got fed up with some stuff and then got rid of all his mods, and that was kind of the moment, I think, where there was kind of a shift. But I didn't believe his bullshit story a long time before that. But because it's the damn cloaking thing, and people keep, they watch too many Predator movies, I guess. And, something, I don't know. Wishful thinking, they want it to be true. I don't know. I mean, they won't even accept the explanation that I would say, because what I think is if you see something like that for the first time, and you're gonna be so shocked that for a moment there you may like black out, like not fall down necessarily, but your brain just kind of you blow a fucking fuse for a moment, and you're kind of black for a moment. And during that moment, if the Sasquatch ducked into the bushes and hid, that may be all it is that explains it. Because from your perspective, he was there, and then he wasn't. And you were looking right at him. But did you black out for a moment? We'll rub a little Occam's razor on it. The simplest explanation is probably the truth. So instead of thinking, well, maybe that's what happened, I had a moment of brain fry, and then when I kind of came to and got my wits about me, the Sasquatch was gone, even though I didn't recall actually seeing it duck into the bushes. No, we're going to jump right to the damn thing. Cloaks like the fucking Predator. So, I think there's a different, you're saying exact moment. I don't know. I don't think there's an exact moment for everybody, actually. Team Boy says he had to. They don't question him. Team Boy says when he opened his mouth, Mr. Lee. Good gosh, this chat function is jacked up. Baldwin says, Mr. Lee, there's no reason to believe Patrick at this point. It's all bullshit. Brandy says, Mr. Lee, I must have missed it also because one day everyone loved Patrick. Then all of a sudden he was gone. I think there was just a lot of murmuring kind of on the down low, and then shit just came to a head, Jay Britt says, Vault Keeper, YouTube's new comedy special. Ray says, those little clips, Lockbeard. Yeah, hopefully they're coming through all right for y'all. It's like delayed for me. Like it should be instant, but it's not. It's delayed. So, I don't know what the deal is.
You remind me of the bay.
Too much heat. Computer says too much heat. Trying to find my spot in chat. There it is. Mr. Lee says, "Oh man, Patrick Vaughn was beginning to grow on me. I feel like a sucker." Angel says, "Brandy has the original story. Was believable then. He started making some wild claims on a couple of shows." Brent says, "I never believed Patrick from the beginning. I told everyone behind the scene, but others were friends with him." Yeah, that's kind of what I thought was the deal. A lot of people didn't believe that bullshit. And just was, just trying to play cool because of who he was friends with. And Tim Boy says, "No, Brandy, everyone liked him until he opened his mouth with these ridiculous claims and no evidence." Brent says he had Pat wrapped around his finger. Donald says, "Mr. Lee, the first time he said his experiences on Squatch Talk and told me he had evidence on his Facebook channel. I went to his Facebook and went through everything, and there is zero evidence." Joe says, "I'm going to have to..." Oh, shoot. Let me get this popped up. Joe says, "I'm going to have a lot to say about this kind of stuff on tomorrow's podcast, so come watch me flap my guns about it." Awesome. Tim Boy says, "Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Brent." Chessport says, "Did Betty come back?" Brent says, "He's one of the reasons I stopped going on Squatch Talk." Tim Boy says, "Joe, you have watched Bigfoot Explorer." Mr. Lee says, "Donald, well, I don't ever go on Facebook, but I know you only for truth, so I take your word every time, dude." Brandy says, "Devil's advocate question." Yes. Tim Boy says, "Brent, if he was on a panel, I left." Brandy says, "Patrick didn't take cameras or any tech with him, did he?" Yeah, isn't he one of the ones that says that you're not going to see anything if you take equipment with you, that the Sasquatch will know and not show up, which means he has a convenient excuse for why he don't have evidence, is because he can't get evidence because he doesn't take equipment, because the whole idea. I think that's what his deal is. Michael says she did shave her legs for UPS. What? Where do I find it? Timmy Boy says Joe. Brent says he didn't, Brandy, because that's what Patrick does. He pushes the goalpost back so he never has to prove anything. Yeah, no, I got to hold it up here kind of in front of the fan. Cool it down, Donald. B. Lynn is here. Welcome. Hello, hugs all, she says. Mr. Michael says, "Jess, she said that hair made her feel more natural. Her pit hair." Jay says they make a pill for women giving birth that transfers the pain she is having to the father. Many husbands say, "I don't feel a thing," but lots of mail carriers drop to their knees in pain. Oh, Jay. Donald says it all started to come to a head with Patrick Vaughn when people with balls like me started to question him. Yeah, and he's blocked everybody. He can't, again, to everyone out there that blocks people under those circumstances, you might as well just scream to the Bigfoot community that your claims cannot stand up to scrutiny. So you have to hide. You have to run. You have to flee. Run away. You can't prove shit. That's why you're blocking people. That's how you That's how you do it on the internet. That's how you run away. That's how you flee. So run along, bitches. Every single one of you that block people, that's what you are. You're exposing yourself. You're admitting that you're full of shit when you block people because your claims can't be backed up. And that's it. So who all's blocked me? Daniela, Tex, LIB, fucking douche nozzle over at Paranormal Portal, Carrie. I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of them, but yeah. Tim Boy says YouTube Bigfoot Explorer Joe. He's all over it, telling story after story, and even goes in the field. It's hilarious. Michael says I told her fine, just quit using my deodorant. Randy says I've never gone to his Facebook. I haven't either. B Lynn says, whoa, just catching the subject. Seriously, Patrick Vaughn had a falling out with Pat. Listening in as I'm late. To some degree, I don't know the full, but some stuff happened, and Pat, kicked all his, got rid of all his mods for a while, including Patrick Vaughn. Mr. Lee says Donald has big balls. For your info. Mr. Lee says, B, you're missing everything. Mr. Lee always says that, B. Angel says, yeah, a while back. Brandy says, but I've got the biggest balls of them all. Brent says, that's true, Donald. You were one of the first I saw calling out Patrick's bullshit. Mr. Lee says, Brandy, yes, sir. So are we all kind of agreeing that Patrick Vaughn has perpetrated a hairy man hoax or hoodwink? Like Michael says, it bothered me when Betty wore pantyhose and her leg hair was poking through the pantyhose. B. Lynn says, Mr. Lee, I definitely have been missing everything. Brandy says, well, I'm upper class, high society, God's gift to ballroom notoriety. And I always fill my ballroom. The event is never small. The social pages say I've got the biggest balls of them all. B. Lynn says, it's horrible to have a PC working, then cell phone broke. Arr. So there's a little pirate coming out of B there. Brandy says, give the lady a razor, Michael. Mr. Lee says, some moof milker put a compressor on the ignition line. Han Solo, The Force Awakens. Jay says, just adding a little levity. Danny Boy says, Lockbeard, what do you think about the notorious MIBs? Oh, I'm sure the government's got their agents that show up for the weird shit. But, I never had any kind of interaction or witnessed anything myself, so who knows? Who knows? Meredith is here. Welcome. She says, late again. Dog outside trying to get little bunnies. I'm pretty sure every one of my muscles is pulled from her. I call her Tracker. She is so close to the ground, following the bunny scent. Well, she just let her go get a meal. Let nature take its course. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, when I get my channel up and running, I'm going to block you. Only joking. Mr. Lee, you won't even guest on Mogs. So I really don't think, I just don't see you going on camera. So yeah, you're clearly joking. Michael says, Mr. Lee, do have a way with words. Meredith says, hello, Lockbeard and everyone. Mr. Lee says, Meredith, you are late again. You missed everything. Stupid shit jumped on me again. Donald says, I do, B. Lynn. All we do is spin in circles when we listen to people with outrageous claims. Brandy says, what am I hearing? Sounds like a horse chewing some dog food. It's probably from moving the computer. I have the computer setting on this to kind of put some air underneath it. Try to keep it from getting too hot. Batmom says, I've got big balls. You got big balls. Tall one says, yeah, but I'm curious as to why. Batmom says, whoever said they are going to stop wearing deodorant, please don't keep using it. Massive ones, Mr. Lee. Randy says, static on Lockbeard's computer. Well, there might be static, but I know I was moving the computer some and it was sitting on those beads. So that might be what it was. Meredith says, Mr. Lee, the dog was with Tom and wouldn't leave his side. Now you have competition. Better look out there, Mr. Lee. She's a very pretty girl. She likes you. She likes you or Tommy. Batmom says, I blocked Lockbeard too, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee says, Meredith, Tom is listening. B says, Brandy, I have a 10-year-old PC. It's on its way out. To get in chat, I need to use my cell phone. Finally got one to work. Meredith says, how come my comment came out twice? I don't know. Don't know. Some kind of glitch. Brandy says, StreamYard chat always jumps about 6 to 7 comments. Just drop in on you all at once, and you have to scroll back up a bit. Yeah, it's just a damn pain in the ass. Why can't it used to be a little smoother? It wasn't this bad. It's just been a lot worse lately. Mr. Lee says, Batmom, I always liked Lockbeard. Nikki says, oh, you sound good today for sure. Welcome to the chat, Nikki. We're holding your place in line. The real hairy man hoaxes and hoodwinks is in the house, folks. Meredith says, Mr. Lee, I know he is. My dig just gave him a run for his money. Brady says, glad you were able to find a working one, B. Batmom says, butt beads. Yeah. They're, really useful if you're someone that prefers not to get too hot on your seat. I haven't gotten around to because I got all these beads, a bunch of them, and from every year it kind of breaks and falls apart, so I have to rebuild it. So I have to restring it up again. And I just haven't gotten around to finishing it this year. So I can. The cool thing is I make it custom to fit the seat. Villainous says, Lockbeard, the static sound isn't as bad now since you moved the beads. Nikki, you leaving El Paso? Asked Timmy. How's the knee? Ask Mr. Lee of Nikki. And Sandra's asking the same thing. Or no, she's saying hi. Sorry, she's saying hi. Nikki says we are going to try and leave by 9 a.m. tomorrow. V says I just used my cell phone. Joe says, Lockbeard, use the plastic bottle caps from a soda bottle or water bottle. Put 3 of them under my computer, 2 in the back and 1 in the front in a triangle pattern. Oh, to try and prevent the overheating. The problem is I don't really got a tabletop here though. So, one of these days maybe I can get things set up in the back, but I just haven't been motivated to do that. Where I'd have a desktop to set it on, but I like here because I can get this crosswind going right here. But what I do is I have a folder. Got another one right here, like one of these, and I stick this in through the steering wheel, and then it levers up against the bottom of the steering column, creating a platform, and that's what I set my computer on. It's quick and gets the job done. But the problem is it's so it's not perfectly flat though. It's not perfectly flat. So that might work, but it'd be kind of, I don't know. Need something. I don't know. Computer don't like this extremely hot Oklahoma weather though. Computer's a pussy. Joe says my computer hasn't overheated since I did that. It raises up high enough for airflow. Yeah. I'm sure I can rig something up that'll work better, but it's just irritating not even have to worry about this. Brandy says, Nikki says the knee is holding up. I walk like a damn old lady. Mr. Lee says, Nikki, I'm excited. Can you get all the footage of Mogs? Chessword says, Nikki, have a safe trip. B says, Meredith, I do now, thank heavens. Jay says, Nikki, I ain't biting on that one. Jay's trying to keep out of trouble. Team Boy says, I forgot about the trip. Have a good time, Nikki. Yep, she is, Mr. Lee. Meredith says, Sasquatch is chilling out with Tom Cruise. Did I spell his last name correctly, Mr. Lee? I think so. I think you spelled it right. B-Lynn says, Nikki, I need a full replacement for my right knee from an auto accident. I now can't wait, to be honest. Daily pain is crazy. Nikki says she's doing her best to not overdo it, but it's hard. Knee replacement sucks, says Tim Boyd. Mr. Lee says, Meredith, yes, you did. You seen my intro with Tom Cruise? You sure will have a great time because of the great people there. Wish I was going to. B-Lynn says, Tim Boyd, probably, but it's needed for years. I'm ready to do it myself. Meredith says, we need to invent the machine like a car wash where you can pick everything that needs to be fixed on your body and you go through it, no pain, nothing, and ta-da, you're all back healthy with no pain. Donald says, Nikki, hope you can document the trip for us who refuse to pay the high gas prices and the ones who can't get there. And 30 years younger, says Rex Hand. Yep. Stem cells. Yep. Wouldn't it be wonderful, says Sandra. B. Lynn says, Meredith, I'm in. Meredith says, Rex, I'd be fine with it. Jay says, split the gas 3 ways. Not bad then. Joe says, Nikki is going to make empanadas for Bigfoot. Meredith says, oops, I meant to say I'd be fine with my 16-year-old body and the addition I had to my top. Oh. Got a little augmentation, did you? Run out of water. Gotta fix that. Doesn't look like Nikki wants to make empanadas for Bigfoot. Sanders says, Nikki, keep your bad legs as straight as you can while driving the car. What is empanadas, Joe? It's Mexican food, Mr. Lee. Grasshopper says, I'd like less on my top now. Donald says, Jay, I'd have done that myself, but I'm the only one in the Northeast that wanted to go. B-Lynn says, yeah, I must be into pain. Too many auto accidents and freak accidents at home. No one us surprised when I show up. Is surprised, I think you mean, when I show up at the ER anymore. Tim Boy says he likes tops. You like the top? What? Nikki says, okay, Sandra, that makes sense. Jay says, Nikki, your stay 2 nights because of your knee. Wonder if Mogs has things to cook on after you leave. Maybe I should bring my camping grill. Mr. Lee says, I did have jerk chicken for dinner. Hot, very good. Gary says, I got the greatest gift of all time, and no one can ever take that away from me, including Mr. Shortbeard. Okay, Gary. B-Lynn says, Lockbeard, yes. Typo on my last comment. Yeah, no big deal. Rick says, Jay, bring beef jerky on your trip just in case. Yeah, beef jerky will get you through anything. Mr. Lee wants you to bring the grill, but Mr. Lee's not coming. Grasshopper says, I've got 60 years of concussions, sports accidents, drinking, rock and roll catching up to me. Joe says, I'm at the age that if I walked through 2 inches of snow, my nuts would freeze. Old guys will understand what I'm saying. Tim Boy says, Gary, don't start, buddy. Joe says, naked if I walked through 2 inches of snow naked, I meant. Elan says, grass, well, as long as it's all from fun times. Mr. Lee says, Gary, who is Mr. Shortbread? I'm pretty sure he was talking about me, Mr. Lee. He said short beard. Mr. Short Beard. So have y'all been checking out this comment? There's a YouTube channel where they're showing it live, I guess. But I don't know if I could show anything on this or not without screwing something up, but we'll try. Unfortunately, it's not going to hit the Earth. Damn it. Yeah, maybe I can show a picture of it. I tried bringing up the live feed for it earlier. Man, that just screwed everything up. So I'll just try to show the picture. By the time I get it shared up, maybe it'll load up. Bam. Well, come on. I don't see it popping up. There it is. Finally. Nikki says, oops. Jay, yes, he's taking his stove. Rexan says, Jay, as long as the gas is not in the cab of the truck. Uncle Bones says, sticks and stones, Gary. I don't know exactly how close it is. They spotted it like way out in the solar system. And I think it's already come to its closest point to Earth at this point. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly how close. Joe says researchers would be looking at my tracks saying, well, it could be Sasquatch, but what are the drag marks between the feet? You're going to be misidentified as an alligator. Meredith says, Mr. Lee, are you referring to the picture Lockbeard put up yesterday? That was a cutout of him. What are you talking about? Mr. Lee, what did Mr. Lee say? I'm scrolling back here. Were you talking about where he said you seen his intro with Tom Cruise? Well, yeah. You're spoiling the Mr. Lee's fantasy. He talks about Tom Cruise all the time. I think I think the only reason Mr. Lee talks shit about the new Top Gun movie is because he's jealous of Tom Cruise kissing whatever actress that was. Jay says, you be Uncle Bones too, my fellow old folks home resident. Nikki says, be prepared for random lives throughout the week from me. Awesome. So hopefully you guys got enough signal to do some stuff up there. Why won't this pop up? There we go. Mr. Lee says, Meredith, I'm not sure. It's me and my man, Tom Cruise. That one, yeah. You're looking for him. It's just a matter of time, Lockbeard says, Timmy boy. I mean, when we get smacked with a big fucking rock. Yeah. Probably the only way to reset the world for real. Wipe out all the elites. Yeah, everybody remember, after that shit happens, whoever's alive on the surface still, you need to go find wherever the elites' bunkers are. A big pile of fucking thermite. A big pile of thermite on top of that bitch and light that shit on fire. Burn them bitches out of there. Like, they don't deserve to survive. But they use your money to build these bunkers and shit to protect their greedy, corrupt asses. Sanders says, oh yes, Nikki, I will look forward to random lives. Meredith says, LL, you are a cutie, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee says, Meredith, I know. Very handsome I am. Mr. Lee thinks he's handsome. Tom Cruise there. Uncle Bone says, Jay Fritz, you forgot I said hello earlier. Be sure to wear a name tag in case you get separated from Stevie. Donald says, where do you have to be to see the comet, Lockbeard? You need a telescope. It's not, I guess it's not, visible to the naked eye. So you need a telescope. They say if just a regular small telescope should be able to help you see it. I don't know if it's going to get close enough for you to see it with the naked eye or not. I haven't really looked into that. The only really important piece of information I was looking at for that was, is it going to hit Earth? No? Okay. Fuck off, comet. Mr. Hughes here. Welcome. Joe says, I know Jay is old enough that he gets a ball wash every time he sits on the throne. Thanks, folks. I'm here all week. Try the veal. Try the veal. That reminds me of a comedy skit. See if I can pull this off. We need some Lewis Black. That's what we need. All right, about got it set up. Maybe it'll work here in a second. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Yep.
Taking that class, I wouldn't have to do this bullshit for a living. I have a real job.
Like the World Commerce, Enron, Tyco, Global Crossing. Exactly. Or any of those wonderful businesses that did so much to inspire us to invest in the stock market. The people who ran these companies are the greediest group of fuckers ever. I know this because we have a lot of greedy people in this country. And the greediest of the greedy saw what these guys did and went, wow, that's really fucking greedy. I wish I'd thought of it. Father and two sons run Adelphia. It's a cable company. And they take from the company $1 billion. $1 billion. Three people took $1 billion. $1 billion. What were they going to do? Start their own space program? Let's send the monkey to Mars, Dad. If that weren't enough, they took $13 million of company money and used it to build a golf course in their own backyard. What amazes me is the people who worked for that company and knew that they did it, that they didn't rise as one and slay them. I've never understood why the people of France chopped off Marie Antoinette's head. Now I fucking get it. Then, of course, there's Dennis Kozlowski. He took from his company $463 million because, well, he had to buy shit. Are you kidding me? He gets on the phone, I'd like all the corn in Iowa because I'm having a hoedown. Dennis spent $16,000 on an umbrella stand. I will repeat that, my gentle snowflakes. A guy, it's a guy. Not even fruity, it's a guy. Spent $16,000 on an umbrella stand. None of us would do that because we have an umbrella stand where we live and we call it a bathtub. My parents spent $16,000 on a used car. You could put a lot of umbrellas in there, or you could drive to where it isn't raining. Now, when you spend $16,000 on an umbrella stand, it has got to be made out of something that's very special. So that you say to yourself, I must possess this. No one else shall own it. And I think it was probably made out of Martha Stewart's vagina. I can tell some of you are shocked because you didn't know she had one. But she does, and I heard it goes with any decor. I think these greedy fuckers who ran these companies should have been put into insane asylums for 20 years, minimum, where they should be forced to sit next to someone who's crocheting something that isn't there. I was wondering what I would do is if I had $463 million, because what these guys did, they just bought stuff. That's what they did. They acquired things in order to one-up each other. That's in part why it got out of control. They bought things. How many things can you buy? How much shit do you need? They bought art. A lot of it they didn't look at. They bought car after car after car, you know, some of them which they didn't even drive. They bought 3, 4, and 5 homes and redecorated them, and they got a tax write-off, and I'd have a joke for that, but I'm not that fucking funny. I don't believe you one-up people by buying something bigger, or that's not the way it works. If you really want to shake somebody up, and you want to fuck with them, and what you do is you be creative. You use that money in a way that these idiots could never imagine. And you know what I would have done with that money? I would have hired a young girl in her early 20s. I would have paid her a remarkable salary. I would give her the best pension and benefits that money could buy. I'd give her health insurance. And she would be my personal ball washer. You know what? I can sense some of you pulling away from me. And all I can tell you is that I came a long way just to share a dream with you. There's nothing sexual about this. I think if you're an important person and you want to show off to other important people, what would be better than having a woman walk in front of you, rinsing and scrubbing, rinsing and scrubbing? Scrub, scrub, rinse, rinse, scrub, scrub, rinse, rinse. Because I am an important CEO and my nuts should be clean.
Well, that clip was a little long before he got to the actual joke, but it was in there somewhere. B. Lynn says, goodness, I step away to take out trash, come back, hear this guy, and thought Lockbeard was gone. Now, somebody brought up ball washing. It made me think of this Lewis Black skit. So all you need is air and water. Did Donald ever get his answer to his question he was asking? I see Troy's here. Welcome. How far back was that? Yeah. I know somebody said the sound wasn't great, so I don't know if y'all can make it out or not. I don't know what to do about the sound issue. Gary says I was there calling out BF real name, and he answered me saying yes in 2 different tones. I had a difficult time saying yes, but I knew that he was what he was saying. That's what I'm talking about, Gary. Your story is freaking nuts. Pat says to Joe, you don't need comfort yet, you acquire it. You can be alive and without comfort, thus Creed. Mr. Lee says, don't call me a mindless philosopher, you overweight glob of grease. C-3PO, A New Hope. Mr. Lee's coming at us with all the Star Wars quotes tonight. Thought it was Frankel. Franken? No, it wasn't Franken. Al Franken only wishes he was this funny. No fighting. No, you didn't. Joe says, here is one textbook definition of greed, Pat. I think it suffices. A selfish and excessive desire for more of something such as money than is needed. Keyword is than is needed. Pat says, Joe, you're greedy by your own definition. Did you define greed properly? Mr. Lee says, everybody was kung fu fighting, Mr. Haywood. Is there fighting going on here? Meredith says, Gary, have you ever told your encounter on anyone's channel? He did come on screen before. And you know, all that ended up happening was is people were sympathizing with him because of PTSD. You know, so he had this whole issue where people didn't like that Gary was kind of under attack because he's coming on here constantly in the chats in multiple different shows, coming in the chats and constantly repeating this Argo nonsense. It is absolute nonsense. Like, he's claiming there's just one entity and its name is Argo, and he is somehow the privileged individual who has been told Argo's name. And there's some angels and some demons and shit involved and all kinds of crazy shit like that. It's just nuts. His story is so ridiculous that I don't know how anyone could possibly believe this bullshit that he's talking. So either he is a troll, a very persistent troll, or he hallucinated some shit, or he's fucking crazy. Something like that. Something. But there's no way this story he tells is true. No way. It's ridiculous. Joe says, did you come here just to argue, Pat? Can I be greedy? Sure, anyone can be greedy. Gary says, no, I won't do no more podcast anymore. Why? I mean, they treated you fine when you came on. Which show was that again? Which live stream was that? They treated you fine. You know, so what's the problem? What you scared of, Gary? What you scared of? Tim Boy says, and me and you got in trouble over that, Lockbeard. Yeah, I know. But I say let people hash shit out as much as possible, you know. I mean, you know, as long as things ain't getting too disruptive and they're really trying to hash some shit out. I mean, if it degrades to just, you know, insults, then that's not very productive. But and it kind of was with Ruthless, the whole thing with Ruthless earlier. So Mr. Lee says, Gary, I was interested in what you had to say. Pat says, no fighting. Greed is a subjective word often overused to avoid backing up opinion. Squashing Cowboy says, my teacher's wife's head just exploded with that last comment by Gary. Your teacher wife said. Yeah. You talking about the total lack of English writing skill like this here? No, I won't do no more podcast anymore. I will not do no more podcasts anymore. Yeah, I'm not even going to try and decipher that shit. I know what he means, but his writing ability leaves much to be desired. Yeah. Donald says Pat must be having a whiskey night. Mr. Lee says, Mr. Pat, chill, dude. Gary says, well, that solves it. You are truly a government spy. It's a shame no one sees it. How are you calling me a government spy? It's just ridiculous, dude. Do you know me? Do you understand who the fuck you're talking to? No, there's probably no one here that hates the government more than I do, Mr. Johnson. So you might want to rethink all that. Angel says, Donald, avoiding your question with redirection. Not a skull buster, says Michael. Mr. Hughes says, Haywood, did you go fishing? Donald says, comments like that prove you need medication, Scary. Yeah. Joe says, yes, Pat, I agree. Greed is subjective like so many things are. You said a lot of people can't define it. I gave you my definition, which happened to be close to the textbook. Gameboy says, Pat, stop being intelligent. Squatch Talk, or Pat says, disagreement equals you're a big meanie head. Michael says, Mr. Hugh, I never made it. The worm said they weren't up for the hooking. Donald says, Angel agree, but he probably missed it if he's deep in the whiskey bottle. Laugh it up, fuzzball. Han Solo. Yep. Uncle Bone says, Michael, that's what they always say. Wear earplugs. You're feeding them worms too much, Michael, says Mr. Hugh. So, popping over here, I don't see Squatch DTV. No Squatch DTV. There's just me, and then Ken Wheeler's live, and then KGRADB channel. Dead Air is on. Paranormal Pathways. There are choices we make when we immerse ourselves in paranormal phenomena. Which path we take can lead to enlightenment or potential disaster. Tonight we discuss the difference with Rosalind somebody. It cuts off right there. So I'm not going to try and play that, but I will show it. I'll show it. If I try to play it, man, we'll be jacked up again. Seem to be doing all right now. Rex says Barbarossa is on with Willie Nelson Circle Network, sponsored by Chiclets and Gary Bussy's Teeth. Do what? Barbarossa. I don't know who that is. If you're referring to someone in particular, I don't know who that is. Is on Willie Nelson Circle Network. I'm thinking maybe this is a joke. I don't know what you mean exactly. No, I don't see anything I recognize. Meredith says, Gary, where can I hear it? On what podcast? Because it sounds like you went through hell, and by the grace of God, you're still with us. I don't think if he went to hell, he imagined it. The story he tells is so ridiculous, so unbelievable. Like he didn't experience a reality of that. He hallucinated it or dreamed it or something. Maybe he's just completely crazy, or it's all a lie. But there's no way that story is true. No way. Sorry, Gary, but Michael says, Uncle Bones, I can't wear earplugs because I can't hear when the fish bite. Pat says greed only has meaning in risk versus reward scenarios. How did we get on greed anyway? How'd that? I guess. Well, was it just from the comedian? Yeah, thank you, Mr. Lee. Rex said it was a great movie. It's a movie, Lockbeard, says Question Cowboy. I guess I'm not familiar with that movie, whatever it is. Huh, thank you. Uncle Bone says, Michael, take them out after you cast out. Silly. Meredith says, where's Moog's people? What do you mean, where's Moog's people? I don't know. Who are you referring to exactly? Joe says, I don't know as I agree with that, Pat. I am being greedy if I eat all the cookies so no one else can have any, even though 3 cookies would suffice my need. Timmy Boy says, gosh, damn thing. It was Squash Talk call-in show. I mean, where Gary went on. Uncle Bone says, Meredith, they are preparing for the trip. Michael says, thank you, Uncle Bones. It's times like these that I appreciate you the most. With Willie Nelson and Gary Busey. Yeah, whatever it is, I'm not familiar with it. Not familiar with it. There it says Uncle Bones. Oh, yes, I forgot. Ride or Die. Is that the name of the movie? Because I'm not familiar with it. Anyway, I guess these guys, they've been on live for about an hour over at KGRADB channel. The show is called Dead Air. Of course, Ken Wheeler's on live right now. He's on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. You can't watch replays of his lives because he deletes all of them. So you kind of got to be there live. And but if you want to ask questions, it's really hard to get a question in at all because he has hundreds of people watching, and the damn flat earthers go in there and just fuck shit up because they ask stupid fuck questions and waste time and cause the chat to fly by too fast, and a bunch of dumb fuck flat earth dipshit moron fucks. Did I say that out loud? This question Cowboy says, read a scary book the other night that was in Braille. I could just feel something bad was about to happen. Never underestimate a droid, says Mr. Lee. Joe says, what is the risk of me eating them all other than others may be angry that I did? If that's what you mean, then I concede your point. Pat says, you missed the point, Joe, even though you made a point. Your needs are for you to decide, not someone else's to decide. Follow your own principle regardless of price. Mr. Lee says, I'm going to watch Predator movie after Lockbeard. Have you seen it before, Mr. Lee? Chessboard says, the Squatching Cowboy, I wish some of the comments were in Braille so I could understand them. Yeah. I don't know about that, Chessboard. Gary would probably sound even more crazy in Braille. So I certainly don't think you'd be able to understand it. I just don't understand why he hangs out on all the logical channels. Why he doesn't just go on over to the fucking crazy ass woo train channels and just hang out there is just, I just don't get it. Why is he here? Not that we don't enjoy his ramblings. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard Predator, one of my favorite movies, man. Yes. Joe says, but Pat, what I said is, if I know 3 cookies would satisfy me, but I ate them all so nobody else could have any, wouldn't you consider that being greedy? Donald says, I'm going to watch Stroker Ace after Locks Lives. Well, I know many of you would probably want to keep on going, but we've gone over 2 hours, and yeah, there's just not anything else going on tonight. Squatch DTV doesn't appear to be going on. You can go stare at the comment. If you wanted to do that. There's really not much to see here, folks. Tattooed Monkey is probably not going to appeal to most people here. It's a totally different type of subject matter, really. As you can see here, Sat Squatch Random Live tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. I believe it's midnight Mr. Lee's time. Uncle Bone says, Cowboy, you get the Helen Keller Award for the week. Congrats. Mr. Lee says, Donald, I'll check it. Stand on it, Stroker. Joe says, or would you say it's just inconsiderate? Rex says, Barbarossa is a Willie Nelson Western. Oh, okay. Chessboard says, Uncle Bones, Helen played the piano with one hand and sang with the other. Mr. Lee says, unless Joe or Mr. Pat go live to fight the greed. Did what? Maybe they should. Maybe they should spar. They should go on and spar. Watch Talk says, I'll create a new channel where real world stuff can be openly discussed with you fine folk outside the Bigfoot world. What say you? Timmy Boy says, later, guys. Y'all be good. See you soon. See you later, Timmy. No, not tonight, Mr. Lee. Nice try, Mr. Lee. Squash Talk says, Mr. Lee, I would, but gotta go to work in 6 hours. You got robbed. They voted early. They won't break out the cookies in this crowd. Add me to it, Pat, says Gary. Whatever that means. Mr. Lee says, no worries, Tom Cruise coming over anyway. Oh, is he now? Is he now? Is he coming over in his chopper, Mr. Lee? All right. Well, I'm tired, and I think we're going to wrap her up. We've been on for over 2 hours. So thank y'all for dropping in. Hopefully next week you'll get to watch Nikki during her regular time, which is what we were just live for. Hate them at Michael Haywood because I'm greedy. Gary, Pat's new sidekick. Is that what you're saying, Uncle Bones? Thanks for the live lock, says Donald Fuller. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming, Donald. Good night, all. See you, Lockbeard, says Joe. See you later, Joe. Thanks for dropping in. Hit it, knuckleheads, says Mr. Lee. Lowrider. Oh, just in time to watch the show. And yeah, Meredith says, Mr. Lee, Tom's taking a nap with my dog, so I'll make sure he's up and have the helicopter ready for him to come spend the evening with only you. Good gosh. Night all, says Angel. Later Tater says Squatch Talk. Nobody else. Dodman wandered in here too, right? And I thank y'all for coming, but we're getting ready to get on out of here. Take her easy.